morning, good evening, good night. EagleMMA Family. This is every fight to make after UFC 301, Pantoja versus Erceg. So let me just start this video out by saying, every other MMA YouTuber said this card's so terrible. There's no name value. This is gonna be a terrible card. One MMA YouTuber predicted this card to be one of the most underrated cards of all time. You're watching his video right now. His name is EagleMMA. So we just have to brag to all these casual MMA fans that don't understand name value isn't everything. If you're a real hardcore of this sport and you looked at all the fights, you knew this was going to be a stacked card. And it was honestly a 9 out of 10 card. A lot of fun fights.
Buy my memberships. Subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications.
But let's get right into this. Starting with the first fight on the card, Alessandro Costa versus Kevin Borjas. Pretty boring for the first half of the first round, but latter half, Costa starts landing some shots on that little soy boy, Kevin Borjas. Started the second round, just lands a couple more shots, drops. Borjas starts leg kicking him and drops him with a leg kick, I believe. And just TKOs him. Just TKOs him. An easy TKO for Alessandro Costa. I mean, who do you want him to fight? He's a random flyweight. You can literally match him up with any other unranked flyweight. Just match him up with anybody. But next up, with Ismael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. This was a disgusting performance from Ismael Bonfim. Vince Pichel is 40 years old. He's 40 years old. And you're having that boring of a performance against him, that point fight performance against him. Ismael Bonfim, like, he was landing some good shots, but there was like 4 or 5 times where Vince Pichel was like visibly hurt, and Ismael Bonfim's like trying to have like a technical chess match with him. Like, he's 40 years old. If you just trade in the pocket with him, you're gonna knock his ass out. Disgusting performance for Ismael Bonfim. I think he should fight Nazim Sadikov, right? He needs to fight someone who's decent. Okay, what? Terrence McKinney? Are you serious? Benoit Sidney, also garbage. And then fucking a 40-year-old Vince Pichel. Give him Nazim Sadikov. That's also a great fight. Nazim Sadikov is a dog. He had a battle with fucking Slavik Laws, right? Vyacheslav Borishev. But make that, let's get a real prospect in here. Let's get a real prospect, because Nazim Sadikov can easily become one of the higher-ranked lightweight contenders. But let's move on to the next fight on the card. It's a women's fight. Diane Barbosa versus Ernesta Kakapupu. Just didn't even watch it. Just literally didn't even watch it. So we're going to go on to the next one. What do you want me to say, right? Next one. Mauricio Ruffi versus Jamie full of Malarkey. If you pick Jamie Malarkey, you have no idea how to pick fights in this sport. Mauricio Ruffi just dog walked Jamie full of Malarkey. Just every shot he landed on Jamie's Malarkey chin got him visibly hurt. Landed like a spinning wheel kick on him. Eventually got him into like a little bit of a dog fight, was trading shots with him and dropped him bad. The referee, it was a bit of an early stoppage, but let's be honest, Ruffi was about to fucking put Malarkey's lights out for a long time. But Ruffi, I actually like this dude. I think he's a great prospect. Dispatching Jamie full of Malarkey like that, Jamie, he's not good, but you have to be decent. You have to be a bit of a prospect to knock him out, and especially in that fashion. I think he should fight Francisco Prado. Don't tell me this isn't one of the fucking greatest fights of all time. Francisco Prado is like a Argentinian Drew Dober. He's a fucking wild man against Ruffi. That's a fucking fantastic fight. I also, I want Ruffi to get moved up. We need more lightweight prospects. The lower half of the lightweight division is not that good right now. It's not that good right now. There's not a lot of prospects. You got, Arman Soyrukian, who's going to get destroyed by Jislam. And who else is going to fight for the belt after that? Max Holloway. Obviously, Dustin Poirier is fighting for a belt right now. That kind of shows there's not a lot of contenders in lightweight, so we need to move people up. But moving on to the next fight on the card, Drakkar Klose versus Joaquim Silva. This was disgusting. This was a terrible fight. I'm not even going to really talk about this fight. Joaquim Silva sucks. Knew he sucked. I knew this fight would suck. Joaquim Silva is like the Cheeto Vera of the lightweight division. Every 3 minutes, he'll throw one big strike, but that's it. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He's a stinker. Drakkar Klose stunk this fight up as well. Just a clinch merchant. DC, why you talking about I ain't boring. Why you insult me for? Because you're boring. Because you're a boring loser, and you clinch people until they give up. And you clinch people like Joaquim Silva, who's like, hey, it's not even... I'm not even going to get into this because I'm going to start yelling. because this was the most disgusting fight, most disgusting performance from both men I've ever seen. I'm not going to make a fight for either of them. They both suck. But moving on to the next fight, right? The people's main event, Miktekbek Oralbay Caveman versus Elvis Brenner Elf Boy. Didn't live up to what we thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a crazy fight, but there were still crazy scrambles. Both men fought it out to the very end of the fight. Elvis Brenner also had a really bad weight cut, which I believe is what affected his cardio. If he didn't have that weight cut, I absolutely think he would have won. He would have out-cardioed and out-dogged Miktekbek, which is exactly what I thought. I think he was going to... I thought he was going to win by third-round KO, but bad weight cut. Still great performance from both men. I think they're both great prospects, great fighters to look out for in the lightweight division. But I think Caveman should fight Claudio Puelles. I think Miktekbek needs a higher-up opponent to just dog-walk, to just give him an excuse to find a ranked opponent. We need, like I said, we need lightweight prospects. That was kind of the whole point of this card, is we need fucking lightweight prospects, dude. And with Elvis Brenner, I think you should fight Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, right? If it's on the feed, Jordan Levitt's got underrated striking. He's really been working on his striking, got some nasty Muay Thai, knees in the clinch and everything. And on the ground, I mean, listen, the scrambles between Brenner and Miktekbek were crazy. Elvis Brenner's got insane ground game. And I want to see what that mesh is like with Jordan Levitt. And he does have to fight down because he did lose that fight. But hey, two great fights to make there. And the next one, Yasmin Lucindo versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Wasn't watching, but I was just looking back here and there, and I saw Lucindo was just kicking the shit out of Kowalkiewicz, but I don't care. Honestly, I'm not going to make a fight for that. Next one, though. Evil Joanderson Brito just destroys this British soy boy, Jack Shore. You despicable human, Jack Shore. Brito just mogged. He just mogged him the whole time. First round, just mogged him. Just absolutely alphaed him. Second round, was kicked his leg so hard. He kicked Jack Shore's leg so hard. He had a bullet hole in his leg. He's got the power of a bullet with his shins. Is that not fucking crazy? It's because he's evil maxing. It's evil Joanderson Brito. Evil Joanderson Brito. He's a different being. Was a doctor stoppage, right? Doctor stoppage, because there was a massive fucking gash. There was a giant hole in Jack Shore's leg from getting kicked from Brito, which is just fucking crazy. I think Brito should fight Danige. Hey, he's been calling out Danige. For like 2 fights now. It actually makes sense. He's a ranked opponent. I think he's been calling him out for so long. This needs to happen. But next up on the card, right, the main card, Caio Borralho versus Paul Craig. Caio Borralho puts an absolute beating on Paul Craig, just destroying him. Like, just 1-2s. Listen, Caio Borralho's striking did not look that clean, so I don't want to move him up too crazy, but insane performance. I think Paul Craig landed 2 head strikes in the first round, just absolutely dog-walked him. Paul Craig was pulling guard on him, and eventually Caio Borralho connecting with a solid 1-2, dropping Paul Craig, put him out cold, right? It was awesome, and had a great post-fight interview, I think he definitely won a lot of fans, and Caio Borralho, listen, hey, nerd maxing, hey, also just want to say this, there were so many EagleMMA references. Caio Borralho actually referenced EagleMMA. I was talking about how he was a nerd maxer, and in the post-fight press conference, he said, fight nerds, pointing at his glasses. That's literally a reference to what I was just saying about him. It's crazy. He watches, and somebody else on this card what made an EagleMMA reference. But I think Caio Borralho, we should move him up, make him fight Roman Dolidze. I think that's a good one because he's probably gonna have to engage in the grappling with Dolidze. And if not, we get to see how good his striking really is, right? We get to see him against a better strike. Paul Craig's striking is so fucking shit. Listen, if you outstrike Paul Craig, you are 99% of the population, right? Roman Dolidze, you're about 50% of the population. So I just want to see if his striking is really that decent. Give him one more fight to improve, and then we can start seriously moving up and can give him some good ranked opponents. But next up on this card, right, Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. They finally ranked Michel Pereira. They finally have him ranked. It's so crazy how he keeps on fighting. He kept on fighting. There's like 3 bums in a row. He fought like 3 bums in a row, but they're finally ranking him. They're finally moving up in the rankings because he absolutely destroyed Ihor Potieria. Just whooped him, dropped him, and did a backflip on him. Dropped him and did a backflip on him. Illegally kneed him in the head doing a backflip. That is he's just alpha mogged that fucking goblin Potieria. Disgusting. And then eventually they stood up and he locked him up in a nasty standing guillotine, choked him out unconscious. I've been saying this. I've literally been saying this. Michel Pereira is a future middleweight champion. I've been saying it since his fight with Wonder Boy. I've literally been saying this. And I think he should fight Jack Hermanson. Right? Destroy that fucking Joker. I hate Jack Hermanson so much. He puts on the most fucking boring performances. Literally just jab and leg kicks. He just jabs and leg kicks. He'll throw in a straight in there every once in a while. Maybe he'll throw a check hook twice around. I hate Jack Hermanson. I think Michel Pereira's wildness is going to mesh very well with Jack Hermanson's patience and boringness. And he could dog walk Hermanson. And it shows really, if you beat Jack Hermanson, you are good. You are a top 5 contender in the middleweight division for the most part, right? I'm not going to make a fight for Potieria. He's a fucking... What do you want me to do? Alright, but hey, next fight on the card. Pigheart Smith versus Vitor Petrino. I just want to say this. I changed my pick. You can watch my live stream. I literally changed my pick last second. As soon as I saw Pigheart walk into the arena, he just looked so turned on. He looked fucking... Okay. Not... Okay. Like, mentally focused. Okay, he looked mentally focused. He looked like he was in it. And I changed my pick immediately. He just dog-walked Vitor Petrino. Nothing really much happened. I think they both landed a couple of strikes. But, Anthony Smith locks up a guillotine, jumps guillotine, and gets it. I literally put up a poll in my live chat like 30 minutes before this happened saying, has a guillotine ever worked in MMA? Like 80% of it said no. And then he pulls it off on fucking Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino was garbage. Listen, I picked him, but I changed my prediction. Last second. Listen, if you're going to decision with Tyson Pedro, you're so shit, dude. I knew Vitor Petrino was terrible. That's why I changed my pick last second to Pigheart Smith. Calorie maxing, pastry maxing, iced latte maxing. I think Pigheart. Listen, a lot of people, and I agree with this. I actually agree with this. A lot of people are saying he should rematch John Jones, and I do agree with this. I think the UFC. I think the UFC's not going to do that though, unfortunately. But hey, you know who's the one man? Okay, on paper, there is only one man who can beat Anthony Smith. On paper, the only man that can beat Anthony Smith is himself. Is Anthony Smith. So I think Anthony Smith should fight Bogdan Guskov, right? It's a higher ranked opponent than Vitor Petrino. I think he's like 2 ranks down from him. Anthony Smith is like ranked number 10. I think Bogdan's number 12. He should fight himself, dude. It's the only competitive matchup that we'll ever see Anthony Smith have, where he's not just letting his opponent knock him down and giving them like a free TKO win because he feels bad for them. Like, honestly, we should make this. Right, but moving on to the co-main event, right? Jose Aldo versus Jonathan Martinez. Sucks for Jose Aldo, right? I always knew back in the day during his championship days, he was known as a boring point fighter, just going to decision all the time. And I knew that, going into this fight. Unfortunately, Jose Aldo barely skates by the first 2 rounds with Jonathan Martinez. You could honestly, you could score it either way, but I think slightly edge it out to Jose Aldo. And then just the last minute of the round, he just lays on top of Jonathan Martinez. So I guess that's how we're going to remember Jose Aldo. We're just going to remember him as the man we always knew him as just this boring point fighter, decision fighter, always just stinking it up, got knocked out by Conor McGregor. I guess that's what we're going to remember him as. Sucks for him, right? Sucks for him because it's his retirement fight. It's his retirement fight, man. He's retiring. So I guess that's just... we're going to remember him as a boring point fighter. And for Jonathan Martinez, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. He went from fighting Adrian Yanez to Jose Aldo, the featherweight go. Like, it's a crazy step up. Still looked very good. I think he still has a lot of improvements to make. and he can make them. He's very young in this game. He just fought one of the greatest fighters of all time. Like, give him a break. He was still making the fight competitive. So not gonna make a fight for Aldo because he's literally retiring from UFC. And for Martinez, I think he's fight Pedro Munoz, right? Pedro Munoz, to show, hey, are you actually worth being a ranking, right? Are you actually worth having a ranking? Pedro Munoz, if you fucking lose to Pedro Munoz at this day and age, you should just quit fighting because Pedro Munoz is garbage. He has a jab, a hook, and half-decent calf kicks, and he's got a decent shin. And every once in a while, he'll throw a spinning wheel kick that's not even close to landing. So I think you should just fight Pedro Munoz, right? It's a good stylistic matchup for the leg kicks as well. But hey, just really make sure he's worth being in the rankings. But with the main event, oh my god, this is so funny, dude. This is so funny. Alexandre Pantoja versus Steve Erceg. Easy 4-1. Easy 49-46 for Alexandre Pantoja. Any single person that thought Steve Erceg won this fight is stupid and you don't know what the F you're watching. Right? MMA Guru going, oh, this is the worst robbery ever. Yeah! Coping so hard because you made such an abysmal pick, dude. Steve Erceg never stood a chance. Steve Erceg literally never stood a fucking chance. Who do you think is going to win? The Cannibal or Michael Scott, your local office paper manager, whatever the fuck? Who did you think was going to win that, right? And I watched the Weasels breakdown, too. The Weasels breakdown, coping as well, going, Steve Erceg arguably won this 49-46, dude. Oh, my God. MMA YouTube is in shambles right now because they made such a garbage pick. And anytime Steve Erceg landed anything of any substance, they're so surprised that their terrible pick has done anything worthwhile, that they 10x the value of it. And they're going, no, Steve Erceg won this fight. Alexandre Pantoja won 4-1. He won 49-46 easily, dude. Maybe even I won't say 50. Hey, Steve Erceg won the 4th round. He won the 4th round pretty clearly. Pantoja won the 5th, 1st, and 3rd, and I thought the 2nd as well. And listen, all you nerds going, oh no, Steve Erceg actually won this fight. Never gonna watch back. I'm not gonna watch that fight back ever because I know Pantoja won. I literally know Pantoja won, and guess what? I don't have the memory of a goldfish, and I can remember how a fight played out. I know Pantoja won that 49-46. Maybe benefit of the doubt, you give him 48-47 if you really want to just be lenient on how we want to score things here and really give Erceg a little bit of a bump up, right, that he needs. Hey, but do you even want Erceg as your champion? You want this loser beta male as your champion, right? Loses a controversial fucking decision or whatever, and just the whole time just I thought I won that. It's like if dude, it's like if Ryan Hall was a beta male, because we all know Ryan Hall is one of the most alpha fighters. He is a future featherweight champion. Steve Erceg is like if Ryan Hall had low testosterone. Just I guess I won. He's such a copycat. He's copying Ryan Hall. He's copying Ryan Hall. You nerd. That's why I don't like him. He's a copycat of Ryan Hall. And all these fake Ryan Hall fans pretend that Steve Erceg's cool because he's literally just copying Ryan Hall. You didn't win this fight. You weren't even close to winning this fight. Every single person that picked you is coping so hard, saying, no, he actually won that fight 49-46. You suck. But hey, still had a great performance, and he could maybe win a rematch. Who knows, right? Still made it competitive, but we knew he was going to lose that fight. And people that everyone always hates on the flyweight division. Flyweight has never been more interesting, right? Flyweight has never been more interesting. Pantoja said he's taking a bit of time off, so I just want to quickly match make the flyweight division because there's so many good fights to make. First of all, I think Steve Erceg should fight Kai Kara-France. I think that's a great fight. I think you should still move him up and have him fight a really high caliber opponent. And even if he beats Kai Kara-France, he could get a title shot right after that, depending on how well he beats him. If he beats him, obviously. But Erceg versus Kai Kara-France, you have Cap and Albazi, who are two prospects who I think should also fight each other, and that the winner of Cap versus Albazi should fight Alexandre Pantoja, and that's if the winner of Muhammad Mokaev versus Brandon Royval, which is also a fight I think should happen. I think they should match up Muhammad Mokaev and Brandon Royval If Muhammad Mokaev beats Brandon Royval and beats him in an impressive fashion, he should get the title shot. If not, it should be the winner of Amir Albazi versus Manel Kape. And, sorry, not Amir Albazi. Manel Kape should fight Alex Perez after Alex Perez beats Tagir Ulanbekov, which is a fight which should absolutely... Who the fuck is... I don't fucking know who Tagir Ulanbekov is. I've never heard of that dude's name ever. Literally don't know who the fuck that is, and I pay attention to the rankings. Flyweights one of my favorite divisions. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know why he's fighting him, but Alex Perez should fight Manel Kape, and whoever wins in the best fashion between those three should fight Alexandre Pantoja. Flyweight is the best it's ever been. Stop coping, you Steve Erceg. But that's kind of gonna wrap it up for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Join my memberships. Hatchlink's $2. You guys get videos, live streams. You guys get emojis, members perks. You guys get polls sometimes. A bunch of stuff. Blothers, you get even more videos, even more live streams. You get monthly Blothers videos where you guys choose the video idea. You get Eagle MMA updates. So much more. Thank you all for watching. Turn on notifications. Eagle MMA out.
Hey. Young Lean? Are you Young Lean?
What?
Are you Young Lean?
No, I'm Barry Dillon.